Hi, in this video we're going to be taking a look at this Seaward PrimeTest PAT tester or portable appliance tester. Now a viewer called Christopher sent me this, and what he said was it's been working fine for the past 4 years, but when you press the button to do a test it does one of the tests correctly, and then when it tries to do the next test, which I think he said is the current leakage test, it just switches off and then you've got to switch it back on again. You just hear a click and then just the whole display goes off. So I've popped some batteries in it. I'm just going to grab a hairdryer or something just to plug in so we can test that, and we'll see exactly what it's doing. So I'll plug this in here. I've got a little earth clip here which I'll just connect up, even though this is plastic so it shouldn't make any difference. But let's just clip that on like there somehow. And to switch it on you've got to press these two buttons and hold them down till it beeps, I think. There we go. And then let's press the button to perform the test. So it's doing the first test now. And then that's it, it just goes off. Let's just try that again. And that's it. So that's the fault. Now I'm not sure whether we'll be to repair it or not, but what we'll do is we'll get the back off and we'll have a look inside of it and we'll see if we can diagnose the problem. Right, with a couple of screwdrivers. Let's remove the batteries, I think, first. Actually we might leave the batteries in. It looks like there's 2 screws there, 2 screws there, and 2 screws here. So let's get those out. I think they're Torx T10s. One thing that might be worth checking is just check the battery voltage first. I mean, I've just put these batteries in and I did test them all, even though it's a quite random selection. I just don't know where all these AA batteries just seem to disappear to. Right, let's go across there. We've got about 9.1. I'm just busy pressing buttons on it. All the batteries seem okay. Right, that's all of the screws out of the way. Let's switch it back off a moment. Let's see if it wants to come apart. I don't think I've missed any more screws. There we go. Alright, let's zoom down and see if we can see anything obvious. So I guess that's going to be the display driver. Looks like we've got a bit of a splattering of logic and op amps around about here. Looks like we've got a PIC microcontroller, a couple of voltage regulators maybe, a little piezo buzzer. Looks like we've got a port for, I don't know, possibly a printer or for programming or calibration maybe. And these must be the relays that are clicking in. And then we've got a couple of transformers here, which I guess might be for creating the high voltage for doing things like the insulation test. And looks like we've got another PIC microcontroller down here as well. So 2 PIC chips. So I've got a couple of transistors down here. They may be for oscillating this transformer here. But apart from that, I can't actually see anything that looks blown. I think Christopher did see, he had a look inside himself and he couldn't see anything either. So we've got a little 0 ohm resistor there on the power input. But that must be okay because obviously it's lighting up. I mean, my initial thoughts, I think the problem is going to be round about here somewhere. And to me it looks more like there's a short circuit or something, maybe a capacitor or something, like one of these little MLCC capacitors or whatever they're called. So I think I'll disconnect the power and then we'll get the test meter on it. I might put it under the microscope as well so we can see a bit better, and then we'll test some components just to see if there's any shorts anywhere. Right, got the microscope set up, so I think I'm going to start by checking these transistors here. So let's try that way around. Right, looks like it's that way. So that one's okay. Maybe the other way around. That one's okay. Bit of way to get the probes in. That one looks okay. That one looks okay. That one looks okay. Let's try these diodes. Not quite hefty those. They're okay. So try across these caps just in case any of those are shorted. I don't know if that looks a little bit black in there or not. Measure's okay. A couple of more big diodes around here. Looks like we've got a MOSFET here. I'll probably have to look up the data sheet of that one. It looks like we've got a couple of more diodes here. Let's just try those. Well, I'm getting a short on that one, but that could be because it's connected to this coil here. So, suspect possibly. A couple of more diodes here. So I'm not sure of the pin out of this, so I'm just going to have a look at the data sheet and then I'll bring it up on the screen and I'll know what pins do what then. Right, back in one moment. Right, so this is an IRF 9410. This pin here is the gate, these are the source pins, and these are the drain pins over here. Well, we don't appear to have a short on it. So I think I might take this board out and then we'll check this diode here, because we can't really check it in circuit, because like I said, it might be across this coil here. So it may well be fine and it may well be something else, but you never know. Let's just have a quick look while we've still got it under the microscope, see if we can see anything else. There's a tiny little mark on that IC there. Looks a bit like some kind of liquid or something maybe, unless it's just a coating on the chip. So I'm not sure on that. Might just be a bit of, I don't know what. Right, I'll get this board out and then we'll take that diode out and we'll check that. So I've just noticed that those screws there look more like wood screws. They're like countersunk screws. And the rest of them are sort of flat, so those don't look like the original screws. And they're machined screws into plastic. So that doesn't appear to be right. Yeah, these ones have got a much better grip. That's attached with these little rubber bits. I'm not sure whether I might have to take that off to get to the diode in any case. It looks like I'm going to have to. It looks like there's some kind of residue or something being on here. As if it's had some kind of battery corrosion. In fact, we have had some battery corrosion there by the look of it. So I might have to have a look at that as well. And hopefully that'll clean up okay. I'm just going to try a little bit IPA on that. Might have to get that back under the microscope just to have a look at that. Yeah, looks like there's been some round here as well. Right, so that diode we need to remove is just here. Right, we'll get the soldering iron out. I'm just going to apply a bit of fresh solder first. So I think it's got a little bit on there. Let's try that again. Let's see what this measures out of circuit. Actually looks alright. So, not that. Well, I thought I'd get rid of the microscope just to have a look at this battery corrosion here, just in case that's got anything to do with it. I'll just try zooming in a bit more on that. I think that track might be gone. Yeah, that one's rotted through. That's going to need to be repaired. I don't know about this via here, doesn't look the best either. So I might see if I can clean that one out and put a bit wire through and then solder it on the other side, then I know that's making connection, but that track there is definitely gone. Right, I'll get some wire and then we'll patch that one up. And just to show you that the track has gone, there's the test meter there. If I just touch the probes together, and if we go from here to here, you can see there, but not there. Right, I'm going to put a bit of flux on this first. This doesn't want to stick for some reason. I'll put a bit of solder mask over that. I'm just going to scrape a little bit off, just so we can check that we've actually got that. So I'll just scrape a little bit off here. Right, let's just check that. I've got continuity now. Yep. Now I need to have a look at that one. Looks a bit green in there. I'll see if I can find out where it is on the other side, and then we'll try to measure continuity between this side and the other side. Actually, it looks like we might be able to measure it from that point there to that point there. If I can work out where that is. So it actually goes from here right. Let's just see if we get continuity across those pads. Yeah, so that one's actually okay. So it looks like it was only that other track. Right, I'll get some solder mask on that and we'll cure it, and then we'll see if that's made any difference. Right, we'll get the UV light on that. I'll leave that to cure for a little while. So those screws that I thought were a bit odd actually go into standoffs, they don't actually go into the case. So that's why they've used different screws there. Let's see if we can get this back together then. Now where's the socket bit gone? Just the power to go in now. Right, let's see if it makes any difference now then. I'll just get the hairdryer again. Right. Hey, it didn't go off. Excellent. I think that's it. So it looks like it was that track that had been eaten through with battery corrosion. Let's just try that again. I think this is for testing. Yeah, this is for testing the one that's got metal on the earth. I'll see if I can find something else like an iron or something, and we'll try the other functions just to check that everything's working okay. One moment please. I'm back with an iron. Let's see what this does then. That seems to work. Excellent. Let's just try a power cord. So I assume we plug this in here and then plug it into the back. Excellent. So I think that's it then. So it looks like it was just that track that had been rotten through with battery corrosion. So I think we'll call this one a fix then. Right then, if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.